Testing, testing, 1, 2. Ay, 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 ay. There you go. Okay. Yep, I forgot the other angle. Huh. All right, we'll deal with this one. Just waiting for these other guys. It's a little early. We'll start the lesson as soon as I get someone else coming in. Tonight we're going to be working with 16th notes, stick control book, and the syncopation book. Now I usually provide PDFs before each lesson. However, I've been a little backed up a little bit, so we're going to wait until next week. Next week we're going to be starting with John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, and Dizzy Gillespie, working from the stick control book and the syncopation book. Okay? Now, for those who would like the PDFs and this week's agenda, I'm going to put my email list, my email there, and you could email me, and I'll send it to you. Okay. Now, that's my email. You get on my mailing list. I will send you the agenda for the week, and I will send the PDF for the week. Now, I've been experimenting here a little bit with some camera angles, and I'm going to use this one tonight. Tonight we're going to be working with 16th notes, maybe we'll go into 32nd notes. We're going to do 16th notes on one surface. Nice and easy. Now the way I count 16ths is 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a pop. Now, what I want to do, if you notice, there's no accent there. My right hand and my left hand sound the same. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now, we're going to start doing some accents. And there's a lot of different things that are occurring. And this is just on one surface. As we get into the lesson, I'm going to move it around the drum set somewhat. Okay? So now, where are we going to put an accent? Let's have a little fun. So what I do, I use two books or a melody or whatever I'm doing, but usually for instructional reasons I'm going to be using two books. I'm going to use the stick control book and I'm going to use the syncopation book. Now you need to have some reading skills. All right? If you don't have reading skills, learn how to read. You have questions about reading, I will gladly try to help as much as possible. Excuse me. So, we're playing 16th notes, alternating the strokes, single strokes. Right hand and left hand sound the same. Now, I'm going to do an exercise utilizing the stick control book. The stick control book is written line 1, page 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's right, left, right, left. That's the sticking pattern. So now what I'm going to do is eliminate, okay, all the lefts. That's going to give me just the rights. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to play 16th notes, and I'm going to reference off the stick control book as using saying only the rights is where the accent's going to fall. Example, we put it on snares. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Now I'm doing it slow. You can take it where you want. So it's telling me I'm just going to have the accent on the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1 E and a 2 E and a. I utilizing the levels. Down, tap, up, tap. Down, tap, up, tap. Now it looks stiff. It looks like I'm a robot. But I'm demonstrating exactly what is occurring with the motion. As I get faster, I'm not thinking of all that. It just flows. It's natural. All right, so that takes care of line 1. Now, let's go to line 2. The rights now shift to the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now, underneath, I'm playing the 16th constant. 1 E and a 2 and a 4 E and a. And I'm going to shift the accent. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to play just on the ands. So now, that's line 1 and line 2. I like to do line 1, go directly into line 2, and back to line 1 over and over again. My bass drum is on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm utilizing my hi-hat on 2 and 4. So I have this. And that's just on one surface. We're going to take it to the drum set now, and we can have a little fun. Whatever your setup is, you have two small toms, or 2 floor toms, or 1 floor tom, whatever you have. I'm going to try to do it a few different ways and have a little fun with it. Okay? So now we're going to take all right hand accents, and let's lock in just playing all right hand accents on the floor tom. So I'm going to have 1 E and a 2 E. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, if I have the luxury of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toms, I'm going to hang out with that. I'm going to play each accent on. Come on, little drum. So on and so forth. You have a little fun. All right, now we'll go to line 2, the same principle. We lock in on the floor tom-tom. Line 1, let me go back to line 1, locking it on the floor tom-tom. Line 2, locked in on the floor tom-tom. Okay, now we'll move it around the drum set. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, back to 1. So you have a lot of fun with it. Now I'm just locked in. I mean, you could play wherever fits into the melody. It's just an exercise. Has nothing to do with any particular kind of tune. It's just a lot of fun moving around. So on and so forth. All right, let's go hang out with line 3. Line 3, you have 1 N as you're referencing, and 3 N. That's where the right falls. So underneath we have the 16ths. All right, so now we're playing 1 N and 3 N. Just having a whole lot of fun. Okay, any questions on that, gentlemen? No questions? All right. Let's go to the syncopation book. That's enough for the stick control. Reading skills. Get your syncopation book out. Ted Reed. Okay. Let's go to simple page. Let's go to page 10. Now I'm just going to use these 3 tom-toms because that's going to be my music stand temporarily. So you look at page 10, line 1. First you need to understand how to read it. So you have line 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And okay, so now we're going to play the 16ths underneath. 3E and the 4E and then 1. So you're going to have the accent now is going to be played what's written on 1 and 2, 3, 4. So you have understand that, gentlemen? Notice I'm maintaining the levels. One and two and three and four and you can move it all around. One surface. Have a whole lot of fun, and eventually it becomes a melody, because that's where we're going next week with John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, and Mr. Dizzy Gillespie. All his melodic structures, A, B, A, and 12-bar blues, and A Moment's Notice is a strange tune. I think there's about 36 measures in there as opposed to 32. And I'm going to show you how I approach from this book, the syncopation book, okay, to understand the melodies. Like from understanding the math, understanding the value and the notation, the math, the counting, the humming, then the swinging, up into the melody. Do we all understand that? I need some questions here, gentlemen. With the right hand. Just have a whole lot of good things going on. Have fun. I even set up my double bass drums. I don't know why. I just want to experiment and have some fun. I gotta get used to them. A lot of fun. Any questions? Get into the chat and say hello. Nobody's helping me here. Okay. Let's go to line 5 of the stick control book. I'll shut this. Nobody wants to learn how to read. Everybody wants to see how fast you can play, the double bass drums, and it makes no musical sense. All right, line 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a vamp. And I'm going to reference off of line 5, all the rights. I'm going to eliminate the lefts while this is moving. Gentlemen, get into the chat, please. 16ths, line 5. You guys know what I'm doing there. If not, ask some questions. I'm taking 16ths. All one sound. I'm accenting. I'm referencing off the stick control book. All the rights become the accents. This is underneath. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 2E and the 3E and move it around. 1E and the 2E and the 3E. This is a little choked. Oh, I hate taking all my drums apart and cleaning them. They never get, for about a week, they never get the same. Hold on. Can you hear the drums okay, gentlemen? Help me out a little bit. Say something. Wow. Let me see. That's this one. All right. I guess nobody wants to get into the chat. All right. Accents. Again, let's take line 5. Yeah, I was speaking to Mark Walker today. Luca, May, from Italy. All right, whereabouts in Italy? I was in Venice 2 years ago. Very nice. All right, tell me a little bit about yourself. You want to get on my mailing list, you have the email there. Email me and I'll send you all the PDFs and the agenda for this week's lessons. Lessons are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday and Wednesday on my site, Tuesday and Thursdays on this site. What kind of music you play, Luca? Che si dice? You understand the 16th notes, what I just did? There must be a big time delay here tonight for some reason. It's been hot out, it's been raining out. And can you hear the drums okay? Can you hear me talking okay? What kind of music are you play? You're in a band? How long you been playing? Talk to me so we could work on things. Who'd you study with? What books you worked from? Help me out, guys. If not, I'm going to close it up. It's so hard to talk to a screen. Knock, knock. Do we all understand the level system? What's occurring when I'm playing an accent? When I'm doing 16ths, a single stroke? Come on, mouse. Oh. This is pathetic tonight. Why me? Jesus. Good, Matt. You're doing good. All right. Oh. Let me go back to almost the beginning of tonight. I don't know if you gentlemen were here. When I'm playing 16th, I'm going to keep it off of, well, let me put on snares. When I'm playing 16th notes, 1 E end, I count the 16ths. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. My right hand and my left hand are sounding the same. No accent. I'm coming from the wrist. I'm playing slow and nice and easy. When I want the accent, something happens here. It's the level system. I'm starting here, I'm going 1, gives me the accent. E sounds, and sounds the same, duh. So I have down, tap, up, tap. That looks very mechanical and like I'm a robot, but I'm demonstrating what is occurring when you're doing that. If I played it up tempo, I don't have time to think it and come all the way up. I just let it flow and make my whole body relaxed. The levels are there, the sound is there. The E and the sound the same. The one is accented. One E and the two. Like, I want to move it to the floor, tom-tom, all the accents. It's down, tap, up, tap. Double kicks. How you doing? I got Luca from Italy, and I have double kicks. Maybe you can give me a lesson with the double bass drums. I just set them up this week. I will be doing some work with them. I used to play them. I have no. I always play one bass drum, actually 1, 2, 3 drums. But I mean, this gives me, most guys have most of this. It gives me an opportunity to do some insane things. It's a pleasure to meet you, double kicks, and Luca. Luca is from Italy. Good, I'm glad that you are. I have my email there, and if you want to get on my mailing list to know what the week's agenda is, and get PDFs, I will gladly send them to you. Okay? Like, you know, my lessons here, I'm doing 4 nights a week now. Okay, I have Monday and Wednesday on my site. I'll give you that address when I send the email. And Tuesday and Thursdays on this site. Everything is 7:30 p.m. for now. I'm coming up with an idea. If it works, I will be doing 2 lessons a day. One at 1 p.m. and one at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It depends how the donations come in. You know, I'm not asking anybody to do anything, but that would be nice. Okay. What is this? Florida. Oh, man. Okay. So we have one from Italy, one from Florida, and I'm from New Jersey. And there's somebody else in there who's not coming forward. He's probably from the UK. What time is it, Luca, in Italy? It should be what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 o'clock in the morning. Luca, say something. Oh, okay. Let's see, I gotta show this. I just have so many people on my mailing list. All right, so good. Not a problem. You've been getting the PDFs? This week and last week has been really bad for me on this site. I've been doing some changes. I'm trying to experiment with some camera angles. But as of next week, we're just going to do the lesson. No whole bunch of bullshitting. I really would appreciate questions, and if we could address the questions. You know, I work with the level system. I don't work with Moeller. 2 a.m. Rudiments, huh? Let me ask you a question, Luca. How many rudiments are there? I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but anybody could answer that? I want to show you my madness. How many rudiments? There's 2 schools of rudiments. There's of drumming. There's the field drumming and the drum set drumming. Okay? Call it whatever you want. I say there's 3 rudiments. Singles, doubles, and flams. And every rudiment that you think you play, the 5-stroke roll, the flam paradiddle. Well, originally, yeah, that's how I was originally 26. Being a member, I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. I joined the NARD, N-A-R-D, National Association of Rudimental Drummers. Yep, there was the first 13 in the front of the book and the next 13 at the end of the book. Then, I don't know, right now, what is there, 40? And they call them hybrid rudiments and everything. But if you analyze it, there's 3 rudiments: a single strokes, double strokes, and flams. And you combine them, they're all just a combination of the 3 rudiments. Example, if I play a paradiddle, it's a combination of single strokes and double strokes. If I want to play a flam paradiddle, it's a flam, single stroke, and double. Play a 5-stroke roll, doubles and 1 single. Double paradiddle, combination of singles and doubles. Yeah, they're named single paradiddle, double paradiddle, triple paradiddle, Swiss Army triplet. But if you analyze them and take them apart, it's doubles and singles and combinations of flams. That's all it is. That's how I teach it now. I could say, all right, this week it's the 5-stroke roll and the 5-stroke rough, but I don't think like that anymore. I think realistically. That's to me, you know, if you're in a drum corps, you're on a drum line, it's hard to say, do 8 doubles and 1 single. You know, that doesn't make too much sense. So they label it. Do a 7-stroke roll, do a 5-stroke roll. So that each one has its own identity. That's for communication, that's field drumming. But if you really want to get to it, if I do a 5-stroke roll, that's actually a hybrid. It's a combination of double and a single. Okay? And if you look at the stick control book, page 5, 6, and 7, every one of those lines is a hybrid rudiment based off the paradiddle. Singles, doubles, and paradiddles. Think about it. That's the way my approach. All right? Luca, do you understand that? Now, if you're going to frequent these lessons, what I think you should do is purchase a stick control book, a syncopation book, the Joe Morello Master Studies, all right, and Gary Shafee's pattern series, Time Functions. Okay? Now, I do a lot of work with jazz. You'll get a lot of PDFs. I try to get into some rock patterns and some funk and some Latin, sambas, so on and so forth. I need to organize this a little bit more. I rearranged everything on my drum set with the camera angles. I'm experimenting, and in my studio. Now I want to be doing this on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Marcio, how you doing? We have somebody now from Brazil. Double kicks from Florida, and Luca from Italy. All right. Obrigado, gracias, and thank you for coming. How about that? Okay. So get the books, because next week, I don't know if you're into jazz. It's referred to as jazz, it's music. We're going to do a whole thing about Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and Dizzy Gillespie. I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you from the syncopation book, the stick control book, to understanding the notation, the value of notes, the counting, the humming, and then the swinging, and then the structure of tunes. How's that sound, gentlemen? Uruguay, hey, here we go, man. Isn't this great? How many guys here are in my Facebook groups, the Art of Drumming groups? How are you, Pablo? Is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I can't pronounce it. All right. Obrigado, gracias. Thank you. I'm not good at that, but I'm glad that you're here. How many guys are on Facebook? Are you on Facebook, Double Kicks? There's like 83,000 members. What I want to do, if you're on Facebook, you should get into the groups. What I'm going to start doing is I get a ton of questions in my chat box, and even on Facebook, in the groups. What I want to do, all the typing and all the time it takes to type, I want to take a couple questions every day from one of the groups, whether it's the Stick Control Formulas, the Syncopation book, the Morello, or the Art of Drumming, or Art of Tuning and Maintenance. I want to take a few of the questions. Instead of me talking through the chat, I want to address the questions live. So I'm trying to stimulate everybody to come to the live lessons. That's why I'm going to do a 1 o'clock. If I did 1 o'clock, it would be 7 o'clock in Italy, correct? All right, and in Florida, you're on the Eastern time. It's 8 o'clock now, 5 after 8. Uruguay, what is the time in Uruguay right now? Guys, help me out a little bit. Pablo, are you in the Facebook groups on Facebook, the Art of Drumming groups? Luca, how about you? Help me out, gentlemen. Because if I do 1 o'clock, I'm going to do Europe. If I do 1 o'clock Eastern time here, I'm going to do Europe. I'll get them going on. If I do 7:30, I get to the Eastern Coast and the Midwest. Guys, answer some questions, please. Are you on Facebook, Pablo? If you're on Facebook, join the Art of Drumming groups. Request it. I'll add you. You too, Marcio and Luca. 83,000 members. I want to start I want to unite the drummers of the world. A month ago it was only 60,000. 21. That's what? 9 o'clock. All right, everybody, listen. I need to go because I'm over my time. My lessons now are here on Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My lessons on Monday, okay, are going to be on this site. What's going on? Hold on. Now, on Monday and Wednesday, go to that site at 7:30. On Tuesday and Thursday, this site at 7:30. When I get online, when I start to stream, do you guys get some sort of notification by any chance? Yes or no? Do you guys get a notification? And besides, I might stay a little longer. Is there anything you guys would like to go over? Or you have a question on anything? Or you want to review something? Or revisit something? Ask a question. How to develop a fast left hand. How to develop jazz independence. What is syncopation? Ask me something and I'll do it for you guys. If I can. I usually can. Let me see. Hold on. You receive an email. Good. I'm glad. All right. Thank you. All right. I need some questions. I might stay another 10 minutes if you throw me a question or so. The Chaffee book, referencing off the stick control book, using the jazz patterns, structure of tunes, jazz independence. Okay. Well, let's work with that. When somebody says, now we're not going to play a fast up-tempo jazz pattern. We're going to play something straight ahead. Okay. Hold on. Now, we're going to be in 4/4, and we're going to be doing a lot of work with this come next week because we're going to be, like I said, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and Dizzy Gillespie, song structures, and so on and so forth. Now, jazz independence. There's exercises, and then there's applying it to music. All right. When you play jazz, as long as you follow the rules and regulations, you're not wrong. You go outside the rules, you're going to interfere with the tune itself. So let's talk about, you say jazz independence. The straight ahead cymbal pattern. Can you see my ride cymbal here? I might have to, let me see which cymbal's in the way. This one. Let me take this one off. I'm going to get the other camera angle happening. Can you see that? Wait, I thought I took it off. T-Pro, hey, how are you? All right, there you go. You have to remember something. Correct or incorrect? Okay. Let me address that. Now, I studied with Joe Morello on and off for 30 years. And if you ever see any of his instructional videos with his hands, they're absolutely insane. All right, and I learned a lot. And I utilize the laws of physics. I do not use any molar, what they call molar. Because actually molar is the laws of physics, but it's labeled molar, okay? There's a lot of different things. Holding a drumstick, the grip. You know, you got guys putting their finger on a stick like this, holding the stick back down under here like this, getting a ride. All right? Whatever works for you is good. So there's no right or wrong. There is the laws of physics, all right? How I control the stick, my body's relaxed, I project the sound, because your stick, okay, is an extension of your hand. You actually play drums with your hands. This is an extension of it. Now, you need to get an idea of the level system, the full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. When I'm playing a jazz pattern, number one, I think of triplets. The way I count triplets is two different ways. Now, you're going to say, you know, I count triplets as one triplet, two triplet. Well, that's not wrong. That's the way you count them, and some people count them that way. I don't like to count them that way. So it doesn't mean the way I do it is right and the other way is wrong. If it works for you, go for it. I count a triplet two different ways. I count 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That's one way. The second way, I count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For subdivisional reasons, that's for when I play, say, polyrhythms, 3 against 2 or 3 against 4. I'm thinking not triplet, which is, it's actually 3 against 2, is eighth notes and triplets for, on the downbeat. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3. That's my triplet. Now I want to get the eighth note. 1, 2. I can count 1 and 2 and, but if I count 1, 2, 3, I really, you know, stay hold of it. The 3 against 4, I count 1, 2, 3. But now, that's going off. That's the way I count triplets. Some guys count it 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. I count 1 and 2, 3, 4. Or some guys go 1 ta-ta, 2 ta-ta, 3 ta-ta, 4. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's what works for you is fine. Okay. All right, now, when I play in a jazz pattern, I zone into a triplet. I'm not going to think of any melody. I'm going to think of technique, okay? How to get the sound out of that ride cymbal that I want. If I want to do, first of all, you want to get a nice musical sound, depending on what you have, a 20-inch, 22-inch, 24-inch, whatever sound it might be. Everybody has their own cymbal and their own sound. Now look at that ride cymbal. My stick is coming down from one point. I'm getting quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the meat of the groove. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ding a dong, boom, ding, ding, da, bop. All right, now we're going to play a straight ahead jazz time. It's not an open time, and I'm not going to discuss that tonight. It's just considered a straight ahead jazz time. Now, there's levels in here. There's a free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. I'm maintaining the 4. If you listen to all the quarter note pulse, they all sound the same. So I'm not going to say free stroke down or free stroke. I'm just going to play it as the triplet. 1 and 2 and 3, the 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now standard, the bass drum. I feathered the bass drum. 1 and 2 and just about hearing it. 4. I'm not pounding it as if I'm playing heavy metal or rock. 1 and 2. That would sound not musical whatsoever. And my hi-hat is a heel and toe. All right, the heel, when I come down with the heel, if you look at the hats, it opens it up. And I come down with the toe, it closes it. So now I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And I'm still maintaining triplets. All right, now I want to play the bass drum. I want to feather the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to play the hi-hat 2 and 4, and I want to play the straight ahead time with the right hand on the ride cymbal, but maintaining the quarter note. And I want it to sound and blend in very musical. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can barely hear the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what do I do with my left hand? Anything you want, really. But let's develop that. And I have a ton of different exercises to develop that left hand. Now, I'm not going to go into the new breed where you play the right hand lead, you're playing open-handed. I mean, that's pretty tough, but, you know, we can work on that eventually. Now, if I want to play eighth note triplets, notice how I'm blending everything in. I'm not pounding. I'm making the snare drum sound like a snare. I'm making the bass drum almost blend in. I mean, it is blending in, rather. It's not powering or dominating any voice whatsoever. If I play this, or if I play this, you still hear the bass drum. The bottom's there. All right, and I play the left hand, or left foot, rather. 1, to my right hand. That's a straight ahead jazz time. Now, I do a lot of work with Gary Chaffee's book, Time Functions, his pattern series, him breaking up the triplet. Then I create formulas with the stick control book. There's a ton of different things. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. I open I'm not playing the bass drum now. So on and so forth. I don't have time to do that tonight. I apologize. Yeah, The Rudimental Jazz by Joe Morello was a good book. But the best book that he had is his master studies. I contributed to that book a little bit when I studied with him. We used to argue all the time. Joe Morello was, in my opinion, the greatest technician ever. Case closed on my part. Now that's my opinion. Everybody else has other opinions. That's fine. I'm not going to dispute it or argue with it. I know firsthand. I sat with him for many, many hours. The guy was incredible. Brilliant mind. And a hell of a mentor. Okay, I have to close it up. All right? I apologize. I'm having some fun. But remember, anybody who would like, let me address one more thing here. Brushes. Is that a correct grip on brushes? Well, I don't have my brushes here, but let me pretend this is the brushes, all right? You know, you understand the grips. The grips are traditional, matched, I used to call it, but it's now considered German because the back of my hand is facing my face, or French. There's the American one, which is the sticks are a little bit tighter inside. I don't buy that. That's something new, somebody created. And, you know, to me, it makes things a little bit more complicated. Now, I play traditional. But if you were playing, I guess, German, I'm swirling like stirring the soup. All right? I should have my brushes. I apologize. I will address that next time. I really would, okay? And I'll do a whole segment on brushwork. But I'm running out of time. I need to get off, and I'm sure that you gentlemen will understand that. I had fun. Please come back Monday night. Monday night, it's on my site, www.mattpatellallivelessons.com. For the gentlemen who are on Facebook and are not in the Art of Drumming group, please enter the group. 83,000 members. We're going for the 100. Well, thank you. That was coming. I really appreciate everybody coming. I will address the issue on brushes. One of these lessons. If you're on my mailing list, I will let everybody know the day, the time, so on and so forth. Gentlemen, my email's there. Email me, and I will put you on my mailing list, and I will send you the PDFs and the agenda. So with that all being said, I got to say thank you in all these different languages. All right, let's go. I don't know if there's anybody in Portugal here or that speaks Portuguese, but that would be obrigado. Spanish or Italian is close, gracias. And I know, was it Marcio? He's from Brazil. He speaks Portuguese. Nice guy. And thank you. Thanks for everybody coming. Hope you gentlemen I've helped out somewhat, and hope we can continue this, and I hope I can make it little life a little bit easier, open up some doors. But remember, the stick control book, the syncopation book, Joe Morello's Master Studies, because I will do a few drum pad exercises. Gracias. Okay, I said it. All right. And Gary Shafee's Time Functions. Get the books. You're in business. In addition to the books, you guys will have a tremendous load of PDFs coming to you through the mail. Email me so I put you on the list. Gentlemen, I need to go. Thank you. It was fun. And hope to see you Monday.